what I really want to talk about is the Bitcoin Academy, because for me, like when I read the stories, the headlines that Jack Dorsey, Jay-Z were putting you in as a teacher with Sister Naja, I was super excited. I'm like, they could have picked anybody to teach Bitcoin, and they chose the two of y'all for a reason. And I truly believe that, y'all are really straightforward and you really have experience in Bitcoin, and you have a wealth of knowledge to be able to teach people. So what takeaways did you learn about, trying to serve underserved communities about Bitcoin?
Well, see, I started that way. My very first video I did was on a street called Georgetown Street in Lexington. And if you say Georgetown Street in that city, people are like, oh, that's not a place you want to go, right? Like they don't ever want to. You don't stay down in Georgetown Street. But my first video was on that street in an office that was right on that street. That's my community. My church was half a mile up the street. My house was 0.7 miles up the street. Like everything was very close. That's my community. So it's not hard for me to have that and make those talks and talk to people in that community, because it is my community. So I think and I always believe that's where it should be, because if we don't do it, it won't get there till too late. Like our communities usually get this type of information like far, far down the line after everybody else has come in and picked it apart. Right. And so I always made it a point to say, listen, I have to be intentional about putting the information in places of that are marginalized, or in places that are those of the disenfranchised, because if I don't do it, who's going to do it? Right. And so Bitcoin Academy is an extension of that. It basically is like the continuation of like taking that same information directly to the people who I believe need it the most. And not only that, but also give them a leg up. It's like the first should be last, last should be first type situation, So it's like if you can't share it with the least of these, then who are you? What are you doing? You know what I mean?